I'm Dianne and I'm back, and I want a short haircut, and yeah, it's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a fixer because you went to other hairdresser and now we're gonna make it to a nicer hairstyle, more flowing, better in shape. Wait turn?
Yeah.
This is the island coupe. The Dutch islands. Thank you very much. Hello friends on YouTube. Got me a model again. Now she went to an island hairdresser in the Netherlands, and on the islands, yeah, they live on the island, so they make hairstyles, but yeah, it's not always the way they want it, especially when she is modeling for a long time for me, and also a customer of mine when in the betweens. So now I'm gonna fix this hairstyle. What I see on this hairstyle is what I already see is when I make photos in front, you can see the lines. That's why I make photos in front, because when you watch through the camera and not on the camera but through the lens, you can see the shapes of the hairs. Now this part is sticking out, this is a bit too slow, and this part is much too heavy, so it doesn't shape well. So I'm gonna play with the hairs. Use thinning techniques first to get the lines really straight and nice falling, and then make a new hairstyle for her. Start by wetting the hair, like I always do. Je bent dan wel lekker blond.
Ja.
Schoon van het eiland?
Ja.
Lekker hè, zeker.
Ja, ik had...
Okay, start this hairstyle with slicing. So I turn a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Take the hairs up in the line. Go stand aside and play with the ends. Use the scissor with hollow blades, no teeth on it, and it's a controlled slice technique. So I go over to the curve, this will do only to get rid of a lot of thickness on top of it, so get more fun in the hair. It's a controlled slice technique, what I've already told you, because I can hold the hairs and I can point in where I slice the hairs. This gives also nice soft lines. To get more volume on the rounding, take the hairs up, take a little bit of the weight. But she loves asymmetrical hairstyles because she don't want a boyish hairstyle. So now I take all the hairs on the same line and work till there's no hair left to work on. So I create a lot of layering and a lot of extra length to the left side of the head. Watch it before, see the softness. Already you can see the shape is much nicer, much more in line with her. Waiting in between a bit, so set her on a line so you can see where I'm going. So this is the line I'm working on, over the center line. This is the top of the skull. Take the hairs up. Take them on the first line, go in, and slice, point cutting my way to the other side. Do this in the opposite lines. Every time go back to the same baseline. It's very important. You can see I also can slice the length, but when I go over, I just slice the hairs in the right length. Still working on the same line, every time take a part on it. Can also show you that from the other side. Take the line up, take it to the other side, go in, slice it on the length, and slice the length. And when I lay this back, you can already see the difference. This is a length, there's no shape in it. And here we get a shape, because you can see the fall becomes much nicer, much more in the roundings. Watch at the natural roundings. And when I watch at the roundings, you can see the things. Here it goes almost straight down. So I take the hairs up in this line, go to my line on top, and shape the hairs into the natural shapes of the skull. Start my cut on the line where I ended with slicing. That's round. Softly shaping the hairs. Holding my fingers in the line of her skull. And the more I get to the skull bone, the more my fingers will lay on it. Also bending a bit. So when I go in, take the hairs up, go into the fall. Now I'm coming to the shape I want. Having a short line, but also very feminine. Nicely falling on the skull lines. You can see this on the line, because this is the line I'm working on. Can use some slice techniques in the underline in the freehand style. Just make it look nicely falling. So this is my baseline, and I'm going to work to the front. Going back on the line of slicing. Gently go in. Holding the softness of the line. Using only the tip of my scissor to slice with. So only the last centimeter. And shaping the hairstyle. Just like working with clay. Lift the hairs up, soften the lines. Creating the front line. Go in the line of falling. And this scissor is ultra sharp. That you can hear because you have no resistance on the hairs. Lay the hairs back in natural shape. Clean on the line. And travel with the hairs in the natural fall with the comb. The comb is telling my scissor what to cut. not the other way around. Adjusting the line. Later has a natural fall, creating a feminine side beard. Clean the hairs behind the ears. Leaning against the hair fall. Go over to my fine part of my comb. Travel over the same line. Go to the back. Watching over the skull lines. Mooi geluidje.
Ja. Als het zo stil is.
Zeker. Dat zijn ook mooie geluidjes. Ik vind altijd een lekker geluid. In de schaar. Heel rustgevend.
Ja.
The underline I do with clipper. Every time I'm holding my comb in the same lines as the skull bone does and goes. Watch it fall. See how nice soft it will be. And now come to the part which she has the most problem with, because this is short, this line is longer, and then this hangs down and brings nothing, so it doesn't come together. What I do is I start at the line where I think it's short enough, because this line is short enough, but there's only no shape in it. So I take the hairs up and create first the line where I get the kite on. So using a guideline, take away a little bit of the weight. Then go over to the line where I start with the scissor of contact mix. Holding my fingers still on the skull bone. Het is best een leuke schaar mee te knippen, maar een beetje gevaarlijk omdat die heel scherp is. Dus hij is normaal eigenlijk alleen voor te slicen en zo.
Ja.
Maar goed.
Het valt nou wat zoveel lichter.
Hè?
Het valt nou zoveel
Ja, lekker is dat, hè? Okay, coming back to the slice techniques. Go in gently and take a little bit away of the weight. And I do this from the skull bone, so on the underline of the skull bone. And then go over the same line back again. And I love to do this fast because then I have more control over the scissor and over the lines. Again, lifting up, give it some power and underlines, gently, not too much. But get rid of the weight that's hanging on it. This will give it that more natural fall and more funk. Go back to the underline, knee the length, Just because I told you already that here is the length I'm working on. Take a part of that length. Turn a bit so you can see this. Take a part of this length and take away a bit of the weight, because then I get the fall to the back. And connect both lines to each other with a point cut technique. Go back to the neckline, connect on the line. Contour I do with a small clipper. Again, from the skull bone on the line, I take a lot of weight of this line, so I get a more playable, funky line. You already see the difference. This is shape, this is no shape at all. Cutting in between. On the fall of the skull, I set the hairs aside. Starting on the lines. Go back to the first line of cutting from the back. Need the length, what I told you, but not the weight. Pointing with my fingers to the center of the neckline. And for those who think this no curly hair at all, there's a small curl in the hair. Only here in the front. Here's a small curl. So that I take away. Gives more rest to the hairs. And you don't need it at all. Oh, my curly hair is gone.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
No, I'm not crying.
You saw me crying. From the line of cutting, I work up in slice techniques. So, line of cutting. Take about 2 centimeters of the upper hair with it. Go back to the back again. Take the hairs up. It's also the driest part of the hairs. You can hear this, even when I'm combing it. Vind je niet?
Ja, maar er zit wel iets frisheid in.
Ja, ja, zeker.
Een beetje apart geluchtje.
Ja. Het is wel een mooi product. Het is een leave-in conditioner.
Ja, het wordt toch altijd heel snel weer droog.
Ja, zeker.
En dat dat een beetje door de luchtsamenstelling komt.
Bij jullie op die eilanden?
Ja.
Ja, zeker. Dat is zoutelijk. Nou, moet je nooit je eigen fiets meenemen. Je kunt beter daar een fiets huren.
Ja.
Je eigen fiets slijt als gek als je dat zo
Ja,
is.
dat klopt, ja. Ja, ja. Ik heb
Zeker
wel-
als je mee naar het strand neemt ook nog.
Nou, dat ook niet.
Dat mag ook niet, hè? Staat
Nee.
voor kop, hè? Maar ja, er zijn toch mensen die het doen. Er zijn mensen zat die dat gewoon doen.
Ja, maar op het strand kan je lekker wandelen.
Ook lekker fietsen.
Ja, ja, maar dat doe ik niet.
Nee, maar het kan wel.
Ja, dat kan wel.
Het schiet
Ja.
wel lekker op.
Ja. Dan moet je eerst wel wat zand doen voordat je op het huis
Ja, je moet gewoon een nest erop gaan, weet je wel, als je op Ameland bent. Dan heb je maar een klein stukje strand, alleen je hebt wel eens kans als je het terug sturen.
Ja.
van die reddingsbrigade, als ze dat zeggen. Dat heb ik al eens gezien met Duitse mensen. Now you can see that the roundings become much nicer. Still we have the length, but also we have a much nicer fall to the hairs. Lay the hairs in the foam, in the line, with a point cut technique. Connect the line. So now I have a much nicer fall to the hairs. Going to the upper hair. Take the longer hairs to the shorter side. Go in. Connect them with a point cut and slice technique. First the point cut, then the slice technique. So travel like a clock. Every time you take the center as the base. Go back on a new line. This whole hairstyle is almost technique. Going to the last line. His scissors ultra sharp, because that's very important when you go slicing hair. To get a little bit of the weight off on the front, take the hairs up, lay them in the natural rounding, go deep in, set my scissors straight, just take a little bit of the weight, not too much. Just to give some air in the front. Do this also in underline. Holding the asymmetrical line. But now she has also the possibility to get some more volume in the sides, because otherwise hanging down, and don't want that. Same I do on this side. Take the hairs up, go deep in, stay away about a centimeter of the fall of the hairs, go deep in and only take out small parts. So using a deep slice point cut technique. Only to give volume to the hairs. Het is wel grappig als je alles hoort wat je moet doen. Hè?
Ja. Ja, je bent er dan wel heel bewust mee bezig.
Ja, zeker. Maar normaal gesproken valt dat gewoon in mijn schaar. Hè?
Ja.
En als je dus zo bezig bent, dan is dat gewoon een heel ander verhaal. Omdat je het helemaal uitlegt, krijg je gewoon een heel ander soort kapsel.
Ja, maar normaal dan praat je ook met elkaar.
Ja, zeker. Dan ben je het helemaal niet mee bezig.
Nee.
Tenminste, niet zo.
Nee.
Creating some effect on the sides. Take this over. Watch over the skull lines. Ventilator maar best leuk geluidje.
Ja.
This is just adjusting, because I can see there's a part here that's a little bit thicker, So I can use this to get a little bit less weight on this line and creating the softness into the lines. Coming to the underline. Take a small clipper of Theo Knoop. Lay the ears down. Go in the rounding of the ear. Connect the contour on the line of cutting. Somebody's ringing me. Cleaning, of course, the neckline.
People also.
Huh?
People also.
Yeah. It tickles. Dat is heel vies, hè? Het zou niet goed zijn als hij niet tikkelt.
Nee.
Als het iets niet goed doet, je gevoel. Dat is jammer.
Het is wel fijn als het heel kort is.
Ja, dat is zeker fijn. Het is ook wel mooi om te zien hoor, mooi schoon nekje. Except of course the upper hair is side for you. Take away the underline. Watch at the natural shape of the neckline. Now for so far the cut is ready. So now I can clean this up. And then I can blow dry the hairs. Using this line, this is a fast drying blow dry spray. You spray it on the roots. It smells really nice. Bit Italian smell. Ruikt lekker hè?
Ja, ruikt super lekker.
Medium brush. Ik vind de kleur altijd mooier ook als het geknipt is.
Ja?
Ja, het wordt meer glans en meer power. Using my blow dryer as the wind. And this is the softest position of the blow dryer. So this looks like storm, but it can be more. I can show you that. Second. Just a third. Even when you live near to the sea, there's a lot of wind. Power, hè?
Ja.
Wel leuk hoor. it's a lot of wind. Using a flexible hairspray so I can really shake this hairstyle up. And don't get stiff. I really love this windy effect on my hairs. Leuk hè, zo weer perfect.
Ja.
The front is a lot less weight than it was. And to fixate it, I use a block hairspray. Not much, just a little bit. Just to hold it in place. A contour line with a knife. Somebody needs me. Almost ready. Cleaning the neckline from small hairs. I thank her for being my model. I thank you for watching. We see each other next video and she will certainly turn around to show you the end result. Bye bye. Leuk hoor.
Ja, dankjewel.
Alsjeblieft.
Hello, I'm Dianne and I'm back. And I want a short haircut. And yeah, it's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a fixer because you went to another hairdresser and now we're gonna make it to a nicer hairstyle. More flowing, better in shape. Wait turn?
Yeah.
This is the island coop. The Dutch islands. Thank you very much.